Bob, we go back to Saturday. In totality, a strong defensive effort. Obviously, a couple of miscues that Harvard was able to take advantage of. But in individual performances, I thought what Haluba did is as strong a performance as I've seen maybe in 2 to 3 years.
Yeah, he's been playing well. It hasn't shown up statistically in terms of sacks, but his number of pressures, hurries, disruptions, all those things that affect the pass game have been outstanding. And, on Saturday we were able to get the quarterback to hold the ball just a little bit longer, and he was able to finish the sacks off.
James Gale is somebody that we talked about early in the year in terms of, who's going to replace these cornerbacks. And he had an interception that, so often you see that play either, get tipped away or maybe the receiver ends up getting it. And he ends up making an interception down near the goal line that kind of keeps you in that game. And he's been terrific in terms of tackles this year, but his coverage has really improved.
Yeah, he just needed to have confidence. And his family is one of these great families. I see him before or after most games. They're there early, they're there late. And I keep telling him we just got to get him confident. And that's been a theme for 3 years because he's been pushing those other guys to get on the field. And to see him playing without restrictions, without thinking so much, and just playing football and playing as well as he has been really fun to see that development.
You know what it's like to play in the trenches. You know what it's like to coach guys in the trenches at different levels. You lost Keem before the game. You lost Ivanisevic during the game. And you called on Mitch Swigert to play 87 offensive snaps. And he hung in there. I mean, that's an all-Ivy performance, if nothing else. Talent-wise, but also just guts and leadership. How impressive was that?
Yeah, and not to, we don't talk about this a whole lot, but he had a illness and was in the infirmary, didn't practice at all Thursday, was out on the field sick on Friday, and we weren't sure how much we were going to be able to use him, and that was just guts. And he's been playing at a high level all year long, but at the end of the day, you walk in a locker room and you see all that disappointment, but there's a lot of pride when you see a guy, and it's just not him, a group of guys that showed such guts there.
Couple days removed now. I mean, this team has shown resilience. They bounced back from the Lehigh game and had 3 straight terrific performances. What have you seen so far? It's midterm week. There's a lot going on, but do you like what you're seeing right now?
Yeah, it's Saturday night, and I'm putting my 10-year-old AJ to bed, and he says, what makes me mad? We don't get to play Harvard for another year. And when Sunday morning came, and my schedule doesn't change, and he was up early, and I said, we move on to Cornell. And that's the whole theme, because there's no gimmies in this league. You've documented how hard it's been for us to win up in Cornell. We're trying to attempt to do something that hasn't been done in 40 years, to beat them twice. And this is a very much improved Cornell team. So that's a wake-up call. And, the fact that if you're a really good team, you go up and you're up emotionally, enthusiastically, and passionately for every game.
Fans of the Ivy League got to see what Jeff Matthews did for Cornell for years, and now, they've found another one in Dalton Banks who seems to give them, the run and pass option, and has really opened up that offense. You look at what they did second half against Colgate a few weeks ago. Incredibly impressive comeback. What have you seen on film from him that's allowed him to be successful?
Yeah, well, they have, and he is a terrific quarterback. They have 8 senior starters. A bunch of them are fifth-year guys surrounding him. And then they got a right tackle, he, and a tailback that are all at a young age playing at a very high level. He's a league leader statistically in yards and some other categories, but he's got a strong arm. He hangs in the pocket. He delivers the ball deep. They got 3 receivers that are averaging over 15 yards a catch. And he's very accurate on the underneath stuff. And he just has, for a sophomore, a great poise about him. And, we saw it in the Bucknell game, his first start, and we're seeing even more as they played these tough, hard-fought contests throughout the year.
We talked earlier about James Gales and how big that one interception is in that game against Harvard. And they have a safety in Nick Gisaldi who has 5 of them this year and has been one of the top defensive players in the league. I mean, you've seen him before, but How has his game either improved and does it seem like he's kind of the driving force on that defense?
Yeah, Giswaldi played well as a freshman. I mean, he attacked the ball, had interceptions, but he's playing the run game extremely well, as they all are. They are incredible at forcing turnovers. He's as good as there is in our league and probably nationally in terms of attacking the ball, going and getting it. And then, the thing is, he's a complete player. He plays the run as well, and they've done a very good job forcing turnovers, but also being a complete defense.
Is their ability to force turnovers, does it come as much out of a pass rush, or are they just so well, do they execute in terms of ball skills?
Yeah, they blitz more than anybody we face to this date. It's 60% of the time they are sending pressure. So they do get after the offense and get after the quarterback, but they have a group of guys on the back end that are tremendous at breaking on the ball, and when they have an opportunity, they catch it. They're not dropping it. They're attacking it and beating the receiver to the punch on that.